Hello, in this video I want a review of the new hub or remote control that come from Policy Buff, and this is hub designed to work with the Policy Buff units like Einstein, white lighting with special triggers, or new links. And it's have plus and minuses. So in this review I want to go over them, tell what I like, what I don't like. This specific unit, you can see they have it red border designed for the Canon, and there was delay for some time from first time when they were released for the Nikon. Nikon triggers available for several months already, and Canon just recently become available. So I ordered this as soon as I can and was using for several weeks on multiple photo shoots to be sure I have it full kind of going around review what is plus and minuses on these triggers. So let's go ahead, first start what is inside the box when you're getting. And inside the box, you'll have a pamphlet, small quick start guide. Okay, and you have the unit itself. And you will also have USB-A to USB-C cable. It does use it, USB-C new connection to charge. And when I say charge, because it actually have it built-in rechargeable lithium batteries. So, and this is kind of start us to work on what is good about this unit. Overall, it's have a better design, on my opinion. It's new design versus if you used other ones or like Cyber Commander or other elements, which is kind of with antenna sticking out, and other ones a little bit awkward. It's look dated. So this one is a little bit slicker. Also how it's positioned in a camera, so you just put and slide in. And also you notice versus the other unit, for example Cyber Commander, it does have a lock mechanism, so it's nice. Cyber Commander, I think one of the biggest, I think it is the biggest minus for me personally was it does not lock. So you just slide in, and after time the springs become loose and it's constantly slide out. So you can use, see I have even small teeny tiny gaffer tape that I was using to kind of lock it, does not unit move around. So in this case we do have it better locking. It is in some cases depend on the camera, sometimes it's a little bit harder to lock in or out. It does not stick out too much, it's actually a little bit under the casing, but it is lockable. So next big plus, it is pass through. Right here you can see we have a hot connection on top and hot shoe on a bottom connection and hot shoe on the top. So in this case, if you have some other unit you want to connect it, you can go just slide in, and there you go, you can add more units stackable. So this is actually a very big benefit if you're using maybe additional different type of triggers or communication device or any other things that you may control it, your camera or other things. So this is kind of plus. Sadly, well actually before I come to the sadly, one other one big plus, and its main reason if you want to upgrade, it is support high-speed sync and TTL sync with new links, flashes, heads. So this is one actually the main reason, and I believe it the only reason you should upgrade it. If you don't need it high speed or TTL, it is sadly much regressed from before units and not really usable, and I will explain why. Okay, first off, let's speak about what is a plus and minus. Lithium batteries, it is a plus because you can recharge, you don't need to worry about batteries. However, it is a big minus because they're not replaceable. They're built inside the case. Let's look on different units. Even first CAM Ranger, which have a little bit difficult time to take, you need to actually remove the case, but they had a replaceable battery, so in case emergency you can do. Newer Cam Range make a little bit better. They need more power, so they build a better, bigger battery, but it is now standard and it is replaceable. Let's look, for example, on the Pocket Wizard, and this is Plus X Pocket Wizard. Same, we can open, we can replace batteries. Cyber Commander, you can replace on the back, replace easy battery. So you can change them. You can even put lithium batteries if you need. You can do all this stuff. The Only other units that I know does not have it built in, it is like, for example, Pluto trigger or other ones. They do have it some that built in. But for this unit, I think it is big minus. It's very easy just to put a door on top and let us replace the battery when you're in a field. They are saying it's lasts very long, at least full day shoot or whatever. My personal experience was that it is, even it's not on, it still drain power. For example, I charge week ahead. I put it in my case with the accessories, and when I come on photo shoot, I open, and it was almost 2/3 drain battery already. So I need a quick plug in, be sure the shoots will be all full, but it was draining battery when it was off. So it's meaning you need constantly monitor, constantly recharge unit. And if you have it very long extensive shoots, and for example for several days somewhere, you need to be sure you recharge this every time, or you have no way to replace batteries, you end up without units. So lithium batteries, it's good idea, but in the current case how they work, it is a minus for this unit. Okay, how I mentioned before, the lock mechanism, it is a plus, but it is a minus because it is sit little bit under the casing. So easy, just put it a little bit up so you can very easy control with your finger. However, it sit under. On my Canon R5 camera, I don't really have a problem. I can stick my finger just a little bit out, but I know people with a Nikon cameras or other ones where they have a little bit higher visor or maybe cover, they have a hard time. They need to stick finger out and lock, unlock. So this is not a greatest design. Easy to fix, all what need to be done, little bit bigger ring that is stick out. But that is actually, it's not the biggest problem. Plastic on the casing, the another problem. And again, that is not because it's optional. So what I mean by plastic, if you look on my Saber Commander, and I used this unit for many years, but you notice right here, it's hard to see, but all casing is cracked because doesn't matter. I think I'm taking good care for my equipment, but other people or something sometimes drop, crack a little bit, plastic again brittle with the time, and mostly like I am locating in Utah, we have very dry weather, and plastic drying, it does a plastic drying as well in this weather and higher UV light, so it's become more brittle. And I asked several times if possible to create some silicone casing for this, so it's a protection. They kind of says they're looking on this, but we don't know what we're doing. But again, it does not provide any protection on the plastic. And we have exactly the same problem on this unit. But that is become a little bit even more funny because you notice they have it right here. This is not paint, this red rim around. This is actually rubber silicone placed on the top as decoration, which have absolutely no functional purpose, okay, instead for the look. Why you don't take that exactly and just put it right here along the rim to protecting when you hit the corners? That I don't understand. Almost like they don't work with photographers on this specific unit to see how to protect. So they can put it rubber only, but why not around corners? Okay, I don't get this one. I think that is a poor design on this. Okay, so this is some. Let's go look on the next what I find the problems. And the problems is become when you start controlling this unit. So to start this unit, you actually need hold power button on the side, and you notice we have it actually two buttons technically. We have it this multifunctional, which can scroll and press in, so it's one controllable, and one is just for the power dedicated. So you need actually press and hold, which is very good, and after time you can see it started. But here's become my biggest problem, and it's happened to me several times. Sometimes I just try to move my camera or whatever, and I accidentally press on the power button. But turn it off power. You don't need it press and hold. You just accidentally press once and power off. And the problem with this, the unit's initializing does not take instantly. If you work with your cell phone applications, work to Bluetooth, it's take a time to reconnect all this stuff. So anytime when you accidentally power on off, it's like additional time away from you. So again, you need press and hold it up to on. I don't know why they don't do, but I think it's easy to fix that problem. Just add to the button when you press a little bit longer to turn it off. Don't make it turn off instantly. Again, this is small convenience, but it's not problematic. What become problem is how the unit is operated. What is meaning by this? I can press and trigger one flash or test flash from this unit, okay? And if you look, I can change some options, but they're limited, and I cannot change intensity of the lights on the unit. Why do I have this extensive control unit that I cannot control lights on my unit? This is why this Cyber Commander is still be benefit. Of course, you can use it app. This is what become another problem. App on a phone, you can use it to control intensity of the light, save presets and everything. So now what I need to do is go like this, juggle, and if I have an additional unit installed like cam range and other things, it's become ridiculously. If you ever try to photo shoot with a camera and with a cell phone, and on the other hand, it's horrible. I know you probably say, hey, you can adjust your lights, put a cell phone, take camera. So now it's my point. If now I need adjust my lights, I need to stop, go back with my phone, pull out from pocket, power on, turn it on, because it's go in sleep mode, go to my application, and when I go to my application, it is need reconnect, not instantly, it needs still take time to identify my lights, to reconnect to them and everything. And when I reconnect, it's have it preset mode, so it can change my modes to preset, not what I changed during my setup. It's meaning every time when I change, I need save this setup so it does not accidentally override. And even more, from applications, you cannot trigger test on your lights. You can only trigger a test on lights from this unit, but not from your cell phone app. Why? I don't know. If engineers want it, they can check out the Pluto trigger, how well this device utilize application on a phone. You can trigger by the sound, vision, and so on, by the timer, everything. Application, you cannot set even timer. How the trigger. It's a huge possibilities, huge options to do work with your cell phone, with a sound trigger, with anything, so you can trigger your lights. Again, I don't know reason why they did not do this. But if we speak about applications, this, even a small documentation, does not design properly. It's have a quick startup, okay, and it's showing how to use the unit. But it also says you need app, but it does not have any QR code or anyway, or even name of application, what I should look in App Store to download it. It will be very useful if you at least have it some link or a name of application, because app on a phone, it's named differently. If you try to search for policy buff, it's given different stuff. So it is a little bit confusing how to do. Easy things to fix it, but very confusing. Same like even with the light settings of the power on this unit, very easy because, well, relatively easy. I'm an engineer, but I do program hardware and everything. And this is, if I'm right, it's probably Arduino based schematic. I did not open, don't look what is inside, but based on a flash and based on control, it's probably Arduino based controller inside, which you can program to also for additional options. I know they may be trying to avoid some complexity, but it is necessary complexity, because every time when I set up lights and photo shoot, I maybe stop them very high on other places. I need to change lighting intensity on them. I have two choices. One, open my app, or second, change position, drop down light, because you cannot see the display from up above, and readjust lighting that way. In this case, I will say Cyber Commander still a big winner, because in Cyber Commander, it's work all in a unit. You don't need to connect to the cell phone. All what I need to do, it's a push button. It's automatically on. Switch, just using my mini joystick up and down to increase, decrease power on each lights without going to the lights. And it's ready. It is instantly working and it's very good. The only difference, I say, between if you want this, it's only if you want to use it high speed or TTL type of photo shooting. But again, why? In many cases, you can achieve exactly the same by using ND filters on your camera. If you're shooting outside and you want some remove sun, intensity of the sun and increasing of the intensity of the flash. So you can still doing this. It's not like only one way to do it. So right here, overall, I will say for me, experience was somewhat working a little bit negative because I had 3 link units, and by working Wi-Fi, and they have their own Wi-Fi signal, the connection, and I don't understand why, if you have proprietary, but it was a lot of misfiring. What I was misfiring, it's when 2 units fire, 1 units don't, or 3 fire, or sometimes just 1 fire. It was inconsistency. I will say about 10% photos of my shoot with this trigger was wrong due to misfiring or different units, and it wasn't just precisely this unit bad or this. No, it's constantly was in different type units went bad. I never had any misfiring when I using this Pocket Wizard. I plug in the back of this unit just for the test with a Pocket Wizard, and all units was fired perfectly every time, so it's no misfire here. I did have it less, maybe about only 2% misfiring when I use it Cyber Commander. I will say something with communications here as well, or antenna or something does not work very well with the link units. At least, again, that is my personal experience. And I'll show you some photos that was done in units work well. When we speak about links, so these lights, I love it. I think this is a great upgrade. I highly recommend. I use them link for the photo shoots as a strobe lights and for the constant light. I'll post it photos to see. When we did kind of like neon cyberpunk photo shoot with colored gel, I'll say this is the greatest upgrade you can have at the links. But hub, no. I will say wait. So what they can do to make it work better. First, cosmetics. Make the ring bigger, sticking out, so it's easy to control. Next, remove silicone from top and put it right around on the edges. Simple protection, make it last longer. Next, upgrade so that when you push on a power off button, it won't power off instantly. It's take a little bit second or something when you hold down button, so it's not instantly. And probably hardest from all of them, but very important, upgrade so I can change light intensity on my screen on this unit, so I don't need it to reach for my app, because on my phone app I have it model release, I have it connection to other triggers, I have it all these different things, Instagram, and I don't like to switch between all these apps just to adjust the light. It takes much longer than just adjust manually. So in this case, the use of the app, it's worthless. Even you can save preset on your lighting. Most time it may work if your lights is stationary, but if you work on events or you go in a studio and you set your lightings, those settings when you save, they're not actually useful, because you change the distance, you change positions, you change angles, and as you do this, the light intensity need to be changed as well. So the save presets and everything is probably less useful personally to me, the settings in there. It's much useful for me was if they have it a simple push button and you can trigger. What we can do with application? Simple. Add test, add timer, add trigger by external sensors from the phone, add options so I can check even on a lighting. The phone built-in camera, and you have a lot of applications that allowed you to measure your light intensity. Could be nice if you can have an app open, policy BAP, point on the units, press test button, and it's tell you what your exposure should be. It's already built in the phone, everything, sensitive camera, calibration, everything, and you actually have other applications that do. Just look what they've done. Go back to the, even if you want to check something like Pluto trigger, see what they're doing in the application and how well it's work. And one last detail. on this documentation, please add QR code or link to the application so other users can go very easy by open quick start and quickly downloading applications that is make this trigger fully functional. Okay, on the end before we done, one thing what I'm telling, because I do like and I'm primarily using Policy Buff product in my photo shoot. I own a lot of the equipment, everything, and I'm happy. And one big plus from this company, it is customer service and how they work. For example, I ordered, this is one of the first unit when this was available, I ordered, and I got contact recently from the customer support, from the technical support, and it says, hey, we found problem. I did not find that problem, but apparently they did, and they actually responded very good. So they sent me a replacement unit with upgrade firmware on this new unit, and with the box and everything. So I'm going to send this old unit back. I don't know what they fixed there. Apparently it was related something to future upgrades, but it wasn't affecting me at that time. Point is this, they are listening, and I hopefully the next variations of this device will become better upgradable so the other user find them more useful. In the end, I want to recommend currently state to buy this unit if you want to use it for photo shoot. Stick with a Cyber Commander, which is actually work better and faster and more adjustable, or to any other triggers that will work more reliable with your units. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and I'm sorry to give it this kind of negative feedback, but I feel almost to the point send back the unit because it's so unworkable, but of course I will keep it just to see how it will progress in the future. If you like this video, give us thumbs up, put it comments. If you use it this unit or an icon, please put it your response down there. Let me know what is your experience, what you think about this trigger. Does it work for you, or you find some other ways that I don't know how to utilize that to full potential? Again, thank you for watching this video.